welcome to Half the Battle, and welcome back to main character May. Today we'll be looking at the cartoon episode Countdown for Zartan, since it's got his name in it. That's also why we're not doing Cold Slither. We start off in a hidden Cobra jungle base, where the Dreadnoks are training some new recruits. And one piece of advice is, well...
Stop! You want results! Use tracer ammo!
I have notes! 1. Ripper seems to imply tracer ammo makes stuff blow up better, but that's not what that does. Tracer ammo just lights up the bullets to show you where they go. 2. They are shooting visible lasers, something quite well established in the cartoon, so they can already see where the laser blasts are going. These lasers already qualify as tracers. Sometimes the cartoon really wants to have their cake and eat it too when it comes to their weaponry. Anyway, the Noks impress the rookies by taking down a tank. But Storm Shadow impresses them more by taking a tank apart without weapons. Destro lauds the ninja while dismissing the Dreadnoks, while Cobra Commander praises Zartan, because he is Zartan. Yeah, he's having some fun at Destro's expense. Cobra has a problem. Scientists from all over the globe are gathering at a worldwide defense center to feed all their info about terrorism into a central computer. A definite threat to Cobra. The project will be complete once they have the data from Dr. Metier of France. Metier is a real French name, by the way. Though it's also a word, it translates to job or profession. But there's not enough there to make a pun. The closest I got was calling him Dr. Profession. Zartan is tasked to intercept him, to the chagrin of Destro, but Cobra Commander of all people breaks up their fight. Yeah, Cobra freaking Commander is the reasonable one here. The Dreadnoks intercept him and force the Doctor into a secret lair, where Zartan assumes his identity in a scene reminiscent of his first appearance.
I do not want you, Dr. Metier.
I want your identity.
Also,
Au revoir.
That's the worst way I've ever heard somebody say au revoir. Yeah, I think that's the nail in the coffin of Zartan being from Nice, as one file card suggested. We're now 5 minutes into this episode when they remember, oh yeah, the G.I.Joe team exists, as we see them guard the center. Zartan arrives and meets up with Storm Shadow. A little bit later, one of the other scientists notices that he's wearing a digital watch, something the real Metier wouldn't do, raising Spirit's suspicions. So he follows the Doctor and catches him getting a bomb from Storm Shadow.
So, Storm Shadow, still you serve the evil of Cobra.
Right! Short digression again! What the hell is it with Zartan and tangents? The greatest personal rivalry in G.I.Joe is between Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes. It was a main feature in the early comic books, and it's been a staple of every adaptation, including the first live-action movie. So, of course, the cartoon said, well, screw all of that. But I can see why. There were several reasons. For one thing, when the cartoon was first made, the whole Snake Eyes Storm Shadow mythos wasn't really a big deal yet, so they felt they could go their own way. Also, a rivalry where one guy is mute didn't seem appealing to the cartoon creators, since witty banter, or at least banter, between rivals needed to be a thing. Their solution, though, that was kinda weird. They went with Spirit as Stormy's main foe, because ninjas are mysterious and Native Americans are supposed to be mystical and crap. Yeah, they went with the wise shaman stereotype. We'll get into all that when I eventually review Spirit. So yeah, these two have a rivalry and bond in the cartoon that doesn't show up anywhere else. Moving on! Spirit fights him because all Native Americans know Kung Fu, I guess, but Zartan flees and plants a bomb in the backup control room. It'll explode in 35 minutes. And considering these episodes only last 22 minutes, we're not gonna have a cartoon version of 24 here. Meanwhile, Spirit sends his eagle Freedom away to get help, which he does, by flying all the way to freaking G.I.Joe headquarters. So in turn, all the Joes fly to the defense center. And the bloody thing must be right next door to G.I.Joe HQ, because they arrive at about the same time Zartan next looks at his watch, and 7 freaking minutes have elapsed since he set the bomb. So, it took less than 7 freaking minutes for Freedom to fly to the Joes and have them fly back to the center.
Did G.I. Joe discover the secrets of warp speed or something?
I did jump ahead a little bit here for my rant, because in those 7 minutes, Spirit is beaten, though Stormy isn't happy about it.
You had no right to interfere, Zartan!
In fact, he saves Spirit from the bomb by taking him prisoner. Anyway, the Joes arrive.
Remain where you are! We have an emergency situation!
Jesus Christ, Lady J, is it really necessary to threaten all those eggheads with your javelin? Freedom unmasks Zartan, and it's really lucky the bird got the right guy straight away, or he would have taken somebody's face clean off.
It's Zartan.
Rakondo is the guy who's always surprised to find out it's Zartan, isn't he? Though the guy behind him is only half surprised. Yeah, I'm gonna be seeing that in my nightmares. Zartan demands to be taken prisoner.
I'm your prisoner. Take me away. No! Take me to the G.I.Joe prison. I demand it.
Might as well, it's apparently just down the block anyway.
This demand raises a few eyebrows, and they discover his countdown watch.
It's a countdown. For what?
For the freaking New Year's Eve ball drop, what the hell do you think it's for?
He admits to planting a bomb, but won't reveal exactly where. Lady J tells Freedom to go find Spirit, because he works like owls in Harry Potter, I guess, while Gung-Ho locks Zartan up, hanging his watch where he can see. And that's where the title of the episode comes from, as Zartan has his countdown now. As the Joes unsuccessfully search for the bomb, Zartan's countdown is at 7 minutes, causing him to make this face. Yeah, you can pinpoint the exact moment he soils himself in fear. Meanwhile, Spirit has been imprisoned with the real Dr. Mathieu in that hidden base that we saw at the beginning, and the Dreadnoughts straight up torture them with laughing gas.
I'm laughing so hard, it hurts!
But Storm Shadow soon puts a stop to it.
Noble enemies should not be treated in this fashion.
Yeah, there's that whole weird Spirit and Storm Shadow thing again.
Back with Zartan, it does take him until there's 1 minute left to crack.
Backup control room! Third panel from the left! Hurry!
But it looks like the Joes couldn't get to it on time.
Impossible! My bombs never fail!
Where's the kaboom? There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom!
And the Joes do find and disarm the bomb at the last second, with Gung-Ho explaining he set the watch 2 minutes ahead, figuring Zartan would crack. Cobra Commander has the same reaction as Marvin the Martian and orders an attack on the center in a last-ditch effort to destroy all terrorist information, even though the scientists have been evacuated and would have copies of their own individual data. So I don't know what Commander thinks he's gonna accomplish.
Except, of course, that this way the episode includes a huge battle scene.
Meanwhile, Spirit gets out of his cell by throwing a knife he had hidden in his headband. It's a good thing that cell didn't require a code to open or anything. Zartan has a similar idea, but uses his camouflage to fool Doc. And I gotta admit, it's refreshing to see that even the good guys can have inept guards. Spirit is intercepted by Storm Shadow, but is saved by the frickin' Eagle.
Okay, does everybody have their headquarters on the same frickin' block?
Seriously, I'm estimating that it's been something like 20 minutes in story time and the bird flew all the way to Cobra's jungle base.
This makes no sense!
These facilities are in such close proximity they should all have the same damn milkman. And let's go back to the opening shot. Look at the huge forest surrounding the Cobra base. Oh, I've been calling it a jungle base, but since it's within birth distance of G.I.Joe headquarters, remember the bird flew there too in even less time, which is in the United States, a country not known for its jungles, so I suppose it could be a forest base.
That doesn't make it any better though.
Freedom being able to get to both places makes no sense. A bald eagle has a flight speed of about 30 miles per hour, so both Cobra and G.I. Joe would have to be within 10 or 15 miles from the center. Yes, I had to look up bird speeds like I'm in a goddamn Monty Python sketch. It would have been better if all traveling was done by aircraft, but no, they had to have a Deus Ex Avis. Twice.
The bird ruins everything.
Besides being geographically impossible, the base has more problems. Like, it seems to have a design flaw, in that it's entirely made out of explosives. Yeah, they fly through the netting, which somehow explodes, even though nets aren't known for that. Tennis would be a hell of a lot more of an interesting sport otherwise, and it causes a sort of Rube Goldberg series of events that cause more and more explosions. Hell, even the decorative Cobra head seems to be made of painted C4. Oh well, at least Storm Shadow looks cool walking away from the explosion.
We shall meet again, Spirit. We shall meet again.
I'm sure you will. Meanwhile, Zartan is being a dumbass. He had destroyed the center's electricity control, but instead of escaping, he decides to play grab-ass with Lady J.
Fools, I'm over here. You'll never find me in the shadows.
Oh, don't! Lady J?
Now, this is a cool scene with Zartan being a true menace, but he should have been trying to get the hell out of there instead of taunting the Joes. Just as they are about to recapture him after exposing him to sunlight, yeah, that was still a thing this early in the series, Cobra attacks with everything they've got. So, a battle ensues, and we see those 3 recruits from the beginning trying to follow the advice the Dreadnoks gave them, thus failing miserably.
Use your tracers!
I pulled his detonator.
Also, they didn't even get helmets for a real fight? I guess I shouldn't be surprised, this is Cobra after all. Their human resources management leaves something to be desired. In the air, it's like 4 Joes against sturdy Cobra aircraft, but Spirit arrives to even the odds? Yeah, even though they're still vastly outnumbered, this turns the tide, and Cobra Commander sounds his own famous battle cry.
Retreat! Retreat!
And with that, everybody important, including Zartan, escapes, and we end on Gung-Ho promising to make gumbo.
Freedom, how'd you like my share of that gumbo?
Oh yeah, the last shot of the episode is Freedom, who I'm now convinced can teleport! If you thought the eagles in Lord of the Rings were a plot hole, if Freedom had been one of them, the story would have been over in 3 minutes. And that was Countdown for Zartan. And I know I've complained about the bird a little. Okay, a lot. But that was just nitpicking really, as it was a great episode overall. There was tension, some fun, and it shone a good spotlight on Zartan. And I guess we now do know what Zartan with a French accent would sound like.
Au revoir.
Plus, it was nice to get some background on how Cobra works, like how they train recruits. They hand them over to the Dreadnoks. Which explains so much about the efficiency of Cobra troopers. The only real complaint I have is that the background character animations were quite a bit off at times. I mean, they sometimes look like a completely different animation style, but even this doesn't really detract from a freaking great episode. So yeah, I can definitely recommend you watch this. Well, I'll see you next time, everybody, and hey, why not like, share, and subscribe if that's your thing.
It's the final countdown. He's an evil master of disguise. Zartan changes color right before your eyes. Zartan.
Introducing Zartan. Zartan changes color in sunlight.
There's Zartan! He's escaping